How ya? This time, let's talk about how to make sure that a Betfair trading strategy is a good one and you're not going to lose your shirt trying to earn some money by following it. As you've seen from my previous examples, Betfair trading isn't rocket science. Every average person can understand the factors impacting the price movements on Betfair markets. With common sense knowledge in a particular type of sport, you can successfully start trading and over the time gradually increase your trading stakes until you feel comfortable with using £100 or a few £100 stakes. However, there is one thing that can make or break your Betfair trading career, and it's the right strategy. Strategy, or in other words, the methods and principles you follow when trading on a particular Betfair market, is as important as the right trading mindset, money management, and understanding the odds fluctuations. You see, you can execute profitable trades here and there, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to increase your Betfair account in long term. Because no matter how good you are, the losing trade will occur sooner or later. And the reality is, such losses will occur inevitably. It would be simply foolish to expect that the market is always ideal and the odds nicely move as you predicted. Were it that easy, everyone would be rich. Many financial traders, for instance, say that successful trading is all about managing your losses. When you make a profit, it's relatively nice and easy, and it's a pleasant feeling seeing the green figure in the Betfair window. But when you're forced to accept the loss, this is when you're being tested for real. You just have to keep the head clear and keep in mind that losses are a normal part of trading routine. If you stress out every time it happens and start thinking that something is not right and you haven't got what it takes, stop thinking such thoughts right now. It's the gambling spirit in you that talks that way. Everyone likes being a winner, and when you face potential losses, we all tend to take it very personally. We exaggerate the bad experience of losing something, and this in turn can lead us to making wrong decisions. The worst thing you can do is keeping the trade open for too long, expecting that the odds will start dropping, but it's pure gambling. Never be tempted into this. What you've got to do instead is close the losing trade at the current odds so that the long-term profitable trades aren't wiped out by the losing ones. And this is where we've established the first important part of every trading strategy: what to do when the market goes against you. You just need to have an exact action plan for such situations. You have to clearly know the following things. What are the factors making the price move the opposite way? What is the acceptable loss per trade you can afford? Never ever start following a Betfair trading strategy if it doesn't tell you clearly when the odds can go against you and how much you can afford to lose. You see, the strategy may look as solid as a rock and describe everything in the smallest detail, but if it lacks these two extremely important ingredients, it's not worth a penny. I have seen many betting and trading systems and methods containing very good ideas, but when the talk starts touching the occasions when the market could possibly go against the trader, the author of the strategy becomes very elusive. General statements such as "most of the times you'll be fine," "it's better to avoid," and similar are used to point at the possible losing trades, but no clear action plan is given as to what exactly to do when it happens, let alone discussing percentage of acceptable losses per stake or similar things. So always make sure you know what to do on Betfair when the market goes against you. If a trading strategy has such a plan, it means it's been put into practice, tested, and proven to be workable. The acceptable losses can be calculated only based on the past results to make sure the long-term profit can be achieved following the given plan. Secondly, you certainly don't want to make sure that the basic principles of the given strategy work as they're described. And for this purpose, there's nothing better than just going to Betfair and monitoring the particular sports market for a while. The strategy, whether it's you who came up with it, or a mate, or you bought it from someone on the internet, is always based on some basic idea. But don't jump into the actual trading straight away after reading it. You certainly want to make sure it really happens the way it's described. So go to the necessary Betfair market and monitor it for a good while to make sure it really reacts to the live sports event the way it's described. You surely don't want to rush with placing a bet on the event straight away, expecting great profit. It just doesn't happen on Betfair that way. So this is the second thing about spotting a good trading strategy: making sure the market really acts the way it's said in the manual or on the website or wherever else you got the concept of the strategy. The last thing that is also very important in every Betfair trading strategy is exactly how much profit you have to make every time to make it work long term. You can have a very good overall strategy in place. You can have well-calculated loss minimizing methods in place. But if it doesn't tell you exactly how much you have to make per trade, it's all worthless. You can do everything the right way, but the question will still remain: when to close the profitable trade? The odds went the right way, but should I green it out right now? Or should I wait a little bit more and make bigger profit? You see, it's actually closely related to the exit strategy and calculating the acceptable loss. In fact, it's all pretty simple. The main ingredient of every strategy is the basic concept, the main principle that's been observed in the trading market. Then the frequency of this odds triggering event has to be calculated. Based on these calculations, the needed profit or the acceptable loss per trade are calculated as well. Simple, isn't it? Actually, a betting system's creation follows a similar pattern. Statistical data is gathered to find out the criteria making certain selections bring profit. However, the betting systems are nearly impossible to create for working long term. Firstly, the bookies work on overbook, and it's mathematically impossible to find a way round it. It's all just been so well calculated that it's extremely difficult to find a way of earning long term. And even when it can be done, the majority of punters tend to spoil everything, running after riches instead of making steady long-term profit. Betfair trading, on the opposite, has the great advantage of profiting from the odds movements, and we don't need to find the criteria for spotting winners or losers if laying. All we need to know is the frequency of particular odds change, and the rest is much easier than for punters. Thanks a lot for staying with me today again, and I wish you all the best with your Betfair trading. Oh yes, by the way, tomorrow I'm going to show you a very good Betfair trading strategy. So stay with me and talk to you again tomorrow.